We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, it's a lighter slate in the NHL, but it's a kick-ass slate. There's some really good matchups. Florida and Carolina. We got Colorado and Vegas. We get Winnipeg and Minnesota. Some good matchups today in the NHL. All things considered for a 4-game slate, it's an awesome slate. And then we got the NBA as well. But before we get into today's slate, before we get into today's games, you guys always know what we do here over on Earle Sports Bets. We take a look back at what happened yesterday, what went right and what went wrong in the world of sports betting. And it was a really good day for me yesterday. All things considered, I finished up 9.76 units if you included my goal scorer props in there as well. The college basketball plays went 7-4, up 2.60 units. Good day in college basketball. But we're gonna take a look at the other side here, which this could have easily been. I could have easily gone 9-0 yesterday, or 8-0-1 yesterday. For that Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game, I was spot freaking on. Other than Pittsburgh won in overtime, not Philadelphia. Philadelphia team total over 2.5 at plus 135. Winner, no sweat on that one. Over 6 in that game. Winner. And of course, my first full unit goal scorer prop, which you'll probably not see for the rest of the season unless Alex Ovechkin's going for the goal title, like to pass Gretzky. That's probably the next time we'll see a prop like this. Full unit, Sidney Crosby gets his number 500 last night. And I was almost right with that game saying, yeah, Crosby's going to get number 500, but the Philadelphia Flyers may spoil his night. Plus 140, full unit on Crosby, winner. Over 5.5, Islanders and Sabres, winner. One of my only 2 losers could have easily been a winner because I had the Isles team total over 3.5. That should have gone to overtime, all things considered. And that was a loser. They finished at 3. And then St. Louis and Ottawa, it was looking terrible. And then a quiet third period until the very end where they scored a meaningless goal to make it 5-2. And the overhits there. 5-2 final, St. Louis and Ottawa under 6, no good. I did finish off the night really well. Calgary Flames team total over 3.5 was a winner. Blue Jackets team total under 2.5 was a winner as well. Took the opposite sides of each other. I kept saying 4-2, 5-2 type of game, and that's exactly what happened. 5-2 Flames as the Flames train keeps on rolling. They play today as well. Dallas Stars team total over 2.5 plus 105, winner. They win that game straight up 4-1, but Jake Ottinger equals good at hockey last night. 47 shots on goal, 4.96 expected goals for the Colorado Avalanche, and they lose 4-1. Vegas is gonna get it tonight. So there's my recap from yesterday. 6-2 in the NHL, up 5.76 units in the NHL. 14-6 plus 8.36 units overall, not including goal scorer props, up 9.76 units overall yesterday. Awesome day. Looking to continue that into today.
Yeah, I will say over on the EarleSportsBets.com website, me and Nick went 11-6. So a really good day there. Nick had his 2-1 day in hockey, where the only loser was that St. Louis game. He had the over in Philly, over in Buffalo. So both of those were good. In Buffalo, let's get it. I took them on the money line plus 165 or whatever it was. So that was nice. NBA, Memphis and Indiana both took care of business. Memphis won by 18 or something. And Indiana only lost by 9, so it covered. Happy about that one. Cleveland was my only blemish in the NBA slate, and I kind of figured that one when I saw line movements and stuff afterwards. So that kind of sucks, but it happens. And then college basketball, 7-4 day, including hitting our best bet, which was the under in that Wyoming game. So that one was a pretty easy one. Hit our free play with the over in Merrimack. Other winners last night were the under in the Northern Iowa, over in South Carolina, which hit with 1.2 seconds to go on a game-tying basket. I think that one ended up going to overtime, and that's how that one went over. Texas over. That one hit pretty easily. Nova over. Wasn't a sweat. And the over in Utah State went that one went over with like 30 seconds to go as well. Losers last night, Indiana State and Missouri State under 142 went way over. Kent State and Toledo, I think Toledo was like a 12-point favorite going into that one. They lost straight up and just couldn't score, which kind of hurt. Kent State got us to where we needed, but Toledo did not. Buffalo and Bowling Green, we had the under 163. I think that one hit close to 200. And then San Jose State and Nevada went over when we had the under 143. Not a big deal. 11-6 day, ready to keep on rolling. Yeah, and there was a couple of upsets last night, including Tennessee taking out number 4 Kentucky. So that was
I don't know if that's really much of an upset. Those were two top teams.
It was a top 10 a top 5 team that went down. That's considered an upset, but it happens. I didn't bet it, but I just figured I'd throw that one out there. And then Duke almost lost, which was crazy to see. Which they did. So. Yeah, I think Duke is a little bit overrated, but we'll see how
they're
it
definitely
goes.
National championship contenders, but they're always overrated in the market.
True, and Gonzaga is now your number 1 overall seed, overall ranked team now in the nation. So that's kind of interesting to see there. Let's go ahead and say hi to the chat, and then we'll go ahead and jump into. I know we have an 11-game NBA slate. Carlos is saying, "Let's go, fellas. Let's get this. Let's get it." Way to kill the card, Nick. We nailed this card when everyone said it was nasty. Tim, you got to help me with some B-ball. I don't know if I could do that. No, I'm kidding. I got 5 NBA plays. Let's do this. I called it nasty.
Yeah, I remember what Nathan was referring to is Sweden just scored 1-0 there. But everybody in our group chat was like they loved Monday's slate, but they didn't really like yesterday's slate. And yesterday's slate was the awesome slate.
There you go. Yesterday, 16 parlay, 10 to win 245, need 1, and then Kentucky let you down. I will say, I almost live bet Kentucky at like plus 11.5 over pretty much at halftime, and then my book froze for whatever reason during that time, and then I just decided to click off of it and I didn't bet it. Perfect. Thank you, book. I appreciate that. Ride with me. Celtics, Bulls, Warriors, and Wild. I will say I'm against you on one of those. But let's go.
It's not the Wild.
And it's not the Wild. Oh, I didn't bet hockey.
I know, I'm joking.
Let's go. Let's start rolling into it, Nick.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks are at the Orlando Magic to kick it on off here. The Hawks are 6-point road favorites. Total of 229.5.
Yeah, real quick, I'm pulling up the injury reports and stuff, so just getting that up on my phone because I was forgetful. Anyways, yes, Atlanta, 6-point favorites in Orlando. I still no John Collins for Atlanta. Other than that, everybody who has been playing will be playing and such like that. This is a game that I just did not get involved in. Atlanta. I believe they're in a second leg of a back-to-back after playing Cleveland last night. And Orlando is Orlando. I think that's about as much. They're coming off of a game that they lost by 10, but covered the spread against the Denver Nuggets. I feel like this could be a spot where Atlanta just wins this game by 15 points. But at the same time, it's Atlanta on the road, and I really cannot trust that at the moment. So I'm going to be passing on this game. It would also be a lean towards the under just because I could see Orlando scoring like very low. I could see them scoring in the 80s tonight, 80s, 90s. So maybe I'll look towards Orlando team total under. I did not pull the trigger on anything in this game though.
Fair enough. I'm not betting any NBA. I'll probably get back to looking at it a little bit after the trade or after the All-Star break. To be honest, I have not bet an NBA game in about a week, and I love it. So pass on everything here.
We get a hi, awesome people from CSN. Hi, Rat. Told you, Sabres win yesterday. Yes, they did.
And at this point, we should consider the Islanders season a failure that we lost to that they lost to those bums. But yeah,
I mean, but you guys consider you guys consider the Lightning and the Wild Stanley Cup contenders, and they both lost to Buffalo. But anyways, and Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh didn't lose to Buffalo. They went to overtime.
No, I'm checking that one. Anyways, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, and by the way, if you guys do see me put an NBA play in, just know I have to really, really like that play, which I don't have any of those.
No.
Because I didn't even look at the slate. So Brooklyn Nets are at the New York Knicks. The Knicks are 3.5-point home favorites, a total of 217.5. What's your thoughts on this game?
I'm gonna do it. Hold on.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is your 1-800-GAMBLER game. I know the Nets are a positive team right now. I know they're over 500, but no. This is a game that I'm not interested in. You get the Nets, who are 1-9 or 1-10 their last 11 games. This team has struggled. They traded James Harden. Still no Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving can't play in New York. Honestly, this would be a lean towards the Knicks, but I didn't bet the Knicks because they're 2-8 their last 10, 2-8 against the spread. Not a good team. Two teams that have been really, really bad as of late. RJ Barrett remains out for the Knicks. This is probably an under at 217.5. I probably lean towards the under in this one, but did I bet it? No, I'm not betting this game. This is the game that I just don't want to go after. I normally don't bet Knicks games, and I normally don't bet Nets games, and them playing against each other is just me staying off of this one completely. And side note, November 17th, 2-1 win against Pittsburgh.
Oh, was that? That was probably during the Sabres' unrealistic good start to the season and before they tank off. Got it. And then, when we look at Brooklyn here, Tim, you did say positive. They're still a positive team. Not in my eyes. In my eyes, they're 21-35-1 against the spread this year. So no, they're not a positive team.
I meant they're over 500 in
I know when I'm looking at records for teams, you're like, oh, they're a good team. They're 50-30 this year. Well, they're 40-40 against the spread. They're not as good as a team you think they are. In the eyes of bettors, the Nets suck. Instead of the Knicks are 26-32 against the spread. But moving on along. We get the Washington Wizards at the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are a 1-point home favorite, total of 226 in this one.
We're going over. I know that if last year at this point, you could have told me you can get a line of 226 with the Wizards and the Pacers, I would look at you crazy because normally that would be about a 235 line. These are a little bit more defensive teams now, but the Pacers are on a second leg of a back-to-back, and that game last night went huge, 128-119. You're getting a Pacers team that this team's gone over in 8 out of their last 9 games. And the only one that went under was a ugly game versus the Cavs. Since then, they've been scoring big, like 119 last night, 120 against Minnesota, 113, 112, 115, 118, 122, 105. This team has been scoring points, and even better, they've been letting up points, 129, 128, 120, 133, 122. They're allowing up points. Washington's going to score today. This one's going to go over. This one's going to hit into the 230s, maybe even into the 240s today. Over between Indiana and Washington. Also, when you're on second leg of back-to-backs, normally the defense is the first thing that's going to slow down. So I'm going to go over between Indiana and Washington.
Now, you were saying you think that the Wizards score points more?
Wizards are going to score.
Would you lean more towards the Wizards?
I would lean towards the Wizards a little bit, but I didn't bet a side because the Wizards. I bet a total for a reason. Combined, the last 20 games for these last 10, they're 5-15 and 5-14-1 against the spread. These are two teams that have been really struggling lately, so I just want to grab the total.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I was going to see if you were interested in looking at the team total over 112.5 here for the Washington Wizards.
I'm fine with that. I didn't bet it. I don't really bet team totals all that often. I'll bet my normal like team total unders with like Orlando and OKC or stuff, but I'm not really going after that.
Fair enough. I just like picking your brain a little bit because I know I think a little bit differently with sports betting where I'll look at trying to get a team total rather than a total or a side because I like taking one team out of the equation and stuff like that. So I
That's
didn't
fair.
know if that's something you would look at is maybe taking a Washington team total over if you think the Pacers defense is really bad and the Wizards can score.
I think both team total overs hit. But anyways, what do you think about the Baylor versus Texas Tech game? We have it around a 140, and we didn't cap sides, so we focus on totals. So we have it around a 140. I don't know whether or not that would be an under and over. I don't know what the line is right now because there was a bunch of games last night, and I only remember the ones I need to remember. So there you go. Keep on rolling, Nick.
Yeah. We get an interesting game here. Not really. Boston Celtics are hosting the Detroit Pistons. Celtics are 13-point home favorites. Total of 216. Now I saw last night the Celtics had a small little win there against the Sixers.
That was ridiculous.
Do you think that Detroit plus 13 is live here?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, after the Celtics won, I believe that was the second biggest margin of victory this year behind that Memphis and Thunder game. That was 135 to 87, 48-point game, and a game that was only like a 2-point spread. I would lean towards the under in this game. And the only reason why I would say that is I don't think you're going to see much scoring, A, from Boston, and B, from Detroit. I think team total under could be a spot for Detroit. I would say this is kind of like a second leg of a back-to-back, but let's be honest. Like, we got Jason Tatum last night who played – he still played 30 minutes, but that's like nothing compared to what he normally does. Brown only played 29 when he normally averages around 40. Roberts didn't play last night. Marcus Smart, did he play last night? He did. He only played 13 minutes. You're getting players that are not playing that many minutes. This is a semi-rested Boston team. I could easily see this one being a 25-point game again. This Boston's been playing really, really good lately. They're now 9 games above 500. They're 9-1 in their last 10, and they're making a push. They're now only 3.5 games back for first place in the East, and they're in the 6th spot. This is a very competitive Eastern Conference, and Boston could very well easily make it up to that top. Do I think they're going to keep going on the stretch? I don't know. All I know is that they've got some easy games ahead of them, including this Detroit game. So maybe they make a push. But no, I did not bet this game. I talked all that for no bet. But it would be lean towards the under. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I feel like if I wanted to get involved with this game, I would look at the Celtics in the first half where you only have to lay, I think, 7 instead of 12.5, 13, because I can see them jumping out early in this game and then coasting a little bit because the Celtics have looked really good recently. So that's where my lean would be in this game. Obviously, I'm not really betting much right now unless I truly like a spot, and laying 7 in the first half is not something I truly like. So, yeah. I'm just trying to give out little thoughts here and there. Trying to think about it as a different way because I didn't handicap anything in this slate, and I didn't do my usual numbers because I'm waiting for stats to settle after these trades and everything. Because my numbers would probably be way off right now, considering they haven't been impacted by trades yet. So that's another reason why I'm staying off.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fine. Bama game under, yes, and then Bama -6. We did not. I see you got Purdue and you got Xavier. We didn't do any sides for last night. We've been focusing on totals.
Last night.
Yeah, we've been focusing on totals. They've been making us money. So so there you go. We can't help you out with the sides and everything, but total, yes, we like the under the Bama game. Boston Bulls are in a run. Are they? Bulls are 7 out of their last 10. That's not bad. But we'll keep on rolling through these. Speaking of the Bulls,
Yeah, Chicago Bulls, they're hosting the Sacramento Kings in this spot, Tim. Kings have been playing a little bit better as of late. Total 232.5. Where are you looking?
yeah, the Kings are very hit or miss. They're 6-4 covering the last 10 spreads wise, but I really don't know what to get out of them, and especially on the road. There's a very ugly team on the road, 7-20 on the road this year. Granted, it is a different looking team now, but this is not really a spot that I'm interested in going after. It would be probably lean towards the Bulls at home. They've been playing really well as of late. They've won their last 5 games. They've covered in 4 of those 5. They didn't cover a 9.5-point spread versus OKC. This would be, I guess, a lean towards the Bulls, but I didn't really get to it.
Fair enough. So you think that the Kings have been a little bit better of a team since the trade deadline? Like they made improvements?
Yeah. Since the trade deadline, they're 2-1. Only loss being to a Brooklyn team, which I guess we could discount that one a little bit. It's not really a big deal, except for that Brooklyn team wasn't really that good. So maybe it might be a little bit cause for concern. But yeah, they have been looking a little bit better. They're fighting for that 10 spot in the West. Where are they at this point for that 10 spot? They're 2.5 games back now. But that's still not bad. Portland's currently in that 10 spot. So, yeah, exactly. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Kings have been playing a little bit better.
All right. Appreciate it, Terry. San Antonio Spurs are at the Oklahoma City Thunder here. The Spurs are 7.5-point road favorites. I feel like that's a lot to lay here with the Spurs. Total 218. Are we feeling the Thunder? Feel the Thunder.
Hey, Thunder have been paying bills this year. They're 35-19 against the spread. That is still number 2 in the league. Only behind Memphis Grizzlies. You're hitting at almost 65% betting Oklahoma City spreads this year, especially when the spreads are 7.5 or higher. And that's exactly where this one's at. No, Spurs should not be this big of a favorite on the road. I realize SGA is out. I realize Dort is out and Williams is out. But this is not a spot that I want to lay 7.5 with the Spurs. I personally am on Oklahoma City. I think they get the job. I think they cover. Do I think they win? Probably not. But I definitely think at the bare minimum they cover. I mean, Spurs shouldn't be 7.5-point favorites against anybody.
Yeah, the Thunder has been a team I've made some money off of this year. All things considered, they've been really nice, and Spurs are a very hit or miss team, I've noticed. So, and I think this line's a little off. I was looking at it here now. How much did the Spurs do for trade deadline? How much did the Thunder do for trade deadline?
Nothing. I don't think
nothing. Like you wouldn't. Would you? How much would you adjust power rankings for these two teams?
Spurs, I believe, traded Derek White, and that was about it. And the Thunder, I don't think did anything. So
you would say there'd be no impact from trades whatsoever?
No, probably not.
All right, then give me my first NBA bet in like a week. I'll take the Thunder plus 7.5 in this spot because my power ranking said this should have been around 2.5, 3. So give me that, and I will put a half unit on the money line as well.
There you go.
Plus 265.
There you go. John saying finally broke his cold streak. He hit 2 parlays yesterday. Nice. Bulls can't afford a loss in a tight race in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. Nobody can afford a loss. That doesn't mean they're going to win every game. Number 2, yes. Spurs cover today. They win by could they? Yeah, they very well could. But I can't lay that many points with the Spurs. And Oklahoma City's been covering spreads all year. So let's roll with it, Nick.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are posting. Wow, I can't read. The Trailblazers here, the Grizzlies are 11.5-point home favorites, total 227.5. We're looking for this one.
Should the Grizzlies win this one by 20? Yes, they very well should. Am I going to lay it minus 11.5 points on this game? No, I'm not. You're getting the Grizzlies, who are on a second leg of a back-to-back. Ja Morant was out yesterday. He could be out again today. This could be, and it could jeopardize him playing in the All-Star game, but I'm not really concerned about that. This Memphis team has been really good this year. They're on another big run, 9-1, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. They've covered in every single game besides the one that they lost, and the one they lost was in overtime against the Sixers. So I'm not really concerned with that. Memphis has been making us money, but I'm not backing them today just because I don't lay more than 10 points in the NBA. So I'm going to be on. I'm not going to be on anything in this game. Obviously, I have my ticket for the Grizzlies to win the NBA Finals. So at 35-1, I also have Denver at 33-1. I think that this Memphis team should be able to win this game by 20-plus points tonight.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll keep on moving on here. We have the Raptors at the Timberwolves here. Raptors are 1-point road favorites. Total of 229.5. We're looking.
Yeah. Fred VanVleet is going to be questionable for this game as well, along with Edwards for the Minnesota side. Other than that, everybody else should be good to go. Toronto, they're coming off back-to-back losses. One to Denver, one to New Orleans by 30. On the other side, Minnesota is coming off they're on a second leg of back-to-back where they won by 6 points in overtime versus Charlotte. This is a spot where I would lean Toronto. I did not bet this game just because VanVleet, I want him to be in order to back that, especially on the road. And the Toronto Raptors have just looked a little bit shaky the last couple of games. It would be a lean towards Toronto, but personally, I didn't get to this game.
I think this is kind of a fishy line. Looking at this was one that caught my attention here when I was typing up these games for the show today. And I know the Raptors have been playing really well lately. I've heard all about them, and they're only 1-point road favorites. This is one I almost pulled the trigger on just because I thought this line was a little off. So I would lean actually towards the Timberwolves in this spot. So lean T-Wolves for me, no play though.
There you go. Carlos, I have no clue what you're betting. Memphis have lost me money this year.
You've been betting against them.
You must be betting against them. They're the best team against the spread this year, 40-19, hitting at almost 68%. So if you're losing money on them, then you're doing something wrong. Because this team is the best team in covering spreads in the NBA. Therefore, I think that they're one of the best teams in the NBA. So I don't know what you're doing wrong, but that team's been covering like crazy. We'll keep rolling though.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Sweden just knocked off Canada in the quarterfinals, 2-0.
Oh wow! So Canada's not going to be in the.
Canada's not going to be in the medal round. Now it's time for Mother Russia to win the gold. All right. The Houston Rockets are at the Phoenix Suns. Suns are 15.5-point home favorites. Total of 234.5. Jeez, 15.5. What a number here. Where are you looking?
I'm looking over. I just think this is a good spot for an over. You're getting Houston, who's the worst team on defense this year, allowing 117 points a game against the Sun, and then the Suns are going to put up 130 by themselves. This could be a high-scoring game that gets into the 240s, 250s. Suns even on a second leg of a back-to-back. I think the defense is going to get beat down a little bit for the Suns today. I like the over 234 between these two teams. I think this one gets into the 250s area.
Yeah. Now looking at these two teams, how much would you impact their power rankings by the trade deadline?
Nothing. These guys didn't really do anything. And there was no reason for Phoenix to do anything. And then Houston, they didn't trade anything. So
Okay. Then this game, power rankings, looking at my power rankings, just should be 17.5.
Don't lay that. Don't do that.
No, I'm not laying the number here. Absolutely not. And as crazy as this sounds, I'd probably look at that team total over 124.5. You think they put up 130? I think that's definitely an interesting look. So I would lean towards their team total, but no play.
There you go. So many good versus bad teams. Yeah, a lot of them are just no. Shout out.
I have no idea what that is.
Supness. Let's get it.
All right.
Two games
keep
left.
it moving here. Golden State Warriors are hosting the Denver Nuggets. Warriors are 5.5-point home favorites with a total of 225.5 now. Where are you looking at for this game?
I'm on the Nuggets, plus the 5.5. This is a Warriors team that's been very, very shaky the past couple of games. They've either lost or pushed in their last 6 games. They pushed against OKC as 12-point favorites, and they've not been covering spreads. On the other side, Denver's actually been covering. They've been playing well. They didn't cover last game, 11.5-point spread against Orlando. They won by 10. Not concerned. They covered in the previous 4 games against Toronto, Boston, Knicks, and Brooklyn. This is a team that they're just starting to get better. They're trying to climb up the Western Conference, and this would be a big win against Golden State in Golden State. I'm taking the Denver Nuggets to at least cover. I'll even sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
There you go. We'll move on here. I believe this is the last game of the slate, right?
I'm back to the chat for just a second.
Oh, yeah.
Suns on back-to-back. 16 points is crazy. Yes, it is. It is. I'm not looking up the guy. Let's go Wild revenge game. The Kings in an upset versus Bulls. Maybe. I don't hate it. Heck yeah. There you go. All right. Last NBA game of the day. You get the Utah Jazz. Oh, sorry.
Utah Jazz are at the LA Lakers here. Jazz are 5.5-point road favorites. Total 226 in this game. What's your thoughts?
Over. The Jazz have been scoring. They've been going under a little bit lately, but they've been scoring, and their defense has been a little bit better. But the Lakers, this is the over team. They've gone over in 4 out of their last 5 games and 7 out of their last 10. They're allowing a bunch of points. They're not playing good defense. They're scoring. They're 10th in scoring, averaging 111 points a game. I just think this is going to be a high scoring. I think this game get into the 240s. And I would be leaning towards the Jazz as well. But I like the over in this game. I think that we get a very, very high scoring game between the Lakers and the Jazz.
Stay off from me here.
That's fair. That's fair. Hands. There you go.
Is that cricket?
I think it's soccer.
Wow.
Yeah. No. No. Thanks.
Ready. Liverpool. There you go. I don't know. Don't tail
any soccer.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Let me reference with that. That is a joke. I don't know soccer. I never will know soccer. And oh boy.
Oh crap! We put the Minnesota Wild up on the screen, and all of a sudden he pops in. Oh boy! It's like when in our group chat, whenever the word Buffalo or Sabres pop up, I always come into the chat. But we say Wild, and here comes Terry. So, welcome, Terry.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. You guys got some fun hockey games to look at for today. 4-game slate. So it should be a good slate. We'll go ahead and get into this. Yeah, hello, nice. You put $1 on Liverpool. Let's get it.
Oh man, now if you lose, I'll feel bad you lost $1.
Oh, I won't. But before let's go into the first game. The Minnesota Wild are at the Winnipeg Jets.
Stop it. Get some help.
The Wild are minus 135. Total is 6. You know what, Terry? We'll let you go first with this one. Let's hear about your Jets.
Actually, can you let Nick go first?
All right, we'll let Nick go first in this.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we saw these two teams play last week, and it finished 2-0. Looking at these two teams, though, I got this at 5.5 though yesterday. I want to reference that. I don't mind it at 6, but I loved it where I got it yesterday at 5.5. Because when you looked at the 5.5 number, the Wild are 9-1 to the over with this expected goals in the last 10, and the Winnipeg Jets are 8-1-1. I expect goals in this game on both sides. Both these teams have looked really good offensively as of late, going over 3 expected goals in 7 of their last 10 games. Both these teams have. For me, I'm not picking a side in this game. I think the Jets could be a live underdog per se because they are at home and they do play better at home than they do on the road. And the Wild, they using some of Terry's stats, they have struggled in Winnipeg in previous years. I believe I saw they're 2-8 in their last 10. I know no Kaprizov in most of those. These are why I don't use those stats. No Kaprizov in most of those games. I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, I like over 5.5 in this spot here. I think at the very least, we get a high scoring game in this game. So that's all I got. Over 5.5 at -125.
All right, Terry. How many ways, shapes, and forms do you have the Wild bet tonight?
Well, right now I just have the money line, which I bet last night. So I gave Nick credit yesterday. Today I'm going to do the opposite. Betting lines early sucks. I'm not doing it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I should not have bet the lines early yesterday because Minnesota -145 went to -135. Carolina money line went minus.
Yeah, I don't know why Carolina dropped like that.
Yeah, Carolina money line went from -135 to -130. So
it was -110 on my book, I think.
Oh, so yeah,
15,
yeah, -130. Yeah, so -135 to -130. So if I had wait, I would have got a little bit better numbers today, but it's okay. I am backing the Wild here. Jordan Greenway, after last game's win, said on today's game, it's going to be fun. We owe them. They better be ready. Now, that's just a quote, but the Wild remember being shut out 2-0 a couple games ago, and it does not sit well with them. 11-1-1 in their last 13. The Wild are going to come to play tonight, and they're going to smash these Jets. I'm taking the money line, but I'm also adding in regulation and puck line as well, and power play points, power play point props for Boldy and Kaprizov.
Okay, That's fair. Stop it. I'm not a hockey person, but ever since I've been watching hockey, Wild is this team chaps. Okay.
They are the team.
Oh well, we'll definitely see with that one. The Carolina Hurricanes are hosting the Florida Panthers in the next game. This is essentially like a pick 'em at this point. Total of 6.5. Terry, will you go first with this one?
Yeah, so now it's -125 at my book. So it's still moving in the Carolina's favor. Money's, I don't get it. Money's been coming in on Florida, but it was happening last night as well. So I guess people really like Florida. I know they've been playing well before the break, but they haven't played in a while. Carolina coming off the loss to Minnesota, 3-2. Now they're back home. They've had a few days to get ready for this. I have a feeling this is a smash spot for the Hurricanes. I added the first period today, first period money line, and I also have their money line for last night. Don't think I want to add regulation just because Florida can be that sneaky team that comes back at the end. So Carolina money line and Carolina first period money line for me.
Mick?
Yeah. If it wasn't for another team a little bit later in the slate, Carolina's my favorite play of the day. I'm on their team total over 3.5. I think this is a great spot for them. And this is unfortunately the last team we get to fade like this, who hasn't played in 2 weeks. Because the other teams played last night. The Kings lost, and the Rangers squeaked one out in overtime against a crippled Boston team with no Marchand and Bergeron. So 2 teams that should have got their ass kicked, and they didn't play great. So, yeah, looking at this spot here, I think that this is a similar spot, and I'm actually pretty close to taking a money line of some sort here for the first period, taking the first period puck line potentially with the Carolina Hurricanes around plus 170. I'm going to look a little bit deeper into that. I'm going to talk to a few people who look at first period stats a little bit more than I do and see if that would be a good look for today's game. But I'm definitely leaning towards the Carolina Hurricanes in the first period minus the half a goal as well.
There you go.
I went with the money line just to be safe.
I want to go for the big score.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it gets tied in the first period and then you would lose. So I'd rather take the push if it's tied. But I think Carolina does well, but who knows?
Yeah. All right. Holy Cross, bat, Boston U away. Now they're 8-point dogs. We didn't really look at sides. Hurricanes money line. College basketball side note, possible pick to look at. Okay, that's fair. We get the Ducks, who are heading into Calgary for the next game. Calgary's around a minus 200 favorite, total of 5.5. Nick, where are you looking for this one?
Yeah, I wanted to get involved with this game, and actually the line's gotten a little bit better on this. Looking at this spot here, this is the only game I haven't placed a bet on yet, and I still need to put in the stats from last night's game against Columbus. But looking at this spot here, Calgary's looked amazing as of late. This is a Calgary team that limits other teams' high danger chances. They limit expected goals against. And they're going up against an Anaheim team where their offense has sucked lately. Granted, most of those games were before the All-Star break, where 5 straight games before the All-Star break, they failed to hit more than 2.61 expected goals for. But they did put up 3.2 against Seattle in their first game back. Against a team like Calgary, even on a second half of back-to-back, I'm looking at the Ducks team total under 2.5 at minus 145. I think that this is another spot here where you can do what we did last night, or what I did last night. You can take the Calgary team total over and the Ducks team total under. I think have a good chance to hit both, similar to what we did with the Blue Jackets game last night with the Flames. So that's where I would lean with this game. I would lean more towards the Ducks team total under more than anything else, and maybe a lean towards the under 5.5 in general. But I have a feeling with the under 5.5, the Flames could put up 5 goals by themselves, and a 1-goal performance from the Ducks can hit the over. So this could be similar to what we saw with St. Louis and Ottawa yesterday, where I should have just taken the team total under with Ottawa rather than the full game under. I might look at the Ducks team total under here.
There you go. Terry?
Calgary in regulation, which is I just got it at minus 135. Normally, I'm all plus money plays. Today, I'm kind of going with these minus 140 to minus 130 plays, but I like it. I think Calgary, they played last night, but they've been playing so good. I'm not stepping in front of this team. Even thinking, possibly, maybe Columbus might have a chance. Calgary just proved that they didn't have a chance. So I like the Flames here in regulation. Possibly even the puck line as well. Probably sticking with regulation just because this Ducks team
feisty.
Yeah, it's possible they play well here. When did they last play? I think it's been a little bit.
The Ducks played against Seattle after the trade deadline, or after the All-Star break. My bad. They played on the 11th, so they haven't played in 5 days.
Okay, so not a horrible long layoff. But,
no, it's not 2 weeks.
But still 5 days off after a long break before that. It's not fun to do that. So Flames, they'll be in game shape. Flames and reg for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
And also, can we take a second to appreciate this slate real quick? Even though it's 4 games, this is your biggest favorite right here at minus 200. There's no 250 favorite. There's no 300 favorites like we saw multiple of them yesterday. Minus 200 is your biggest favorite today. Love it.
There you go. What happened to Weapon X and those Avalanche? They lost.
They did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Look ahead to today's game.
That's exactly what I said too.
Which we'll get to that one next. Calgary's on fire. Flames money line. You're dropping -200 on them. Good luck. Final game of the day, and this is the big game that everybody's talking about. Colorado Avalanche are in Vegas taking on the Golden Knights. Colorado -125, total of 6.5. Terry, I'll let you go first with this one to finish on at the slate. Where are you looking?
Pass. This is the one I'm passing. I'm on the other 3 games. I like the other 3 games, but this one is a pass. Eileen would be against Nick and go with Vegas. Eileen would be Vegas, but I'm not going to pull the trigger. Maybe a draw play. I'm still going to look into it. Still have a little bit more capping, and obviously I think we're having our think tank later, and we'll go over some of these games and we'll see what happens from it. But the Avs, they lost last night, so they are going to be pissed off coming into this game. But that Vegas crowd is going to be insane. Even if Eichel doesn't come out and score in his first game, even if he's a little bit rusty, that crowd is going to be pumped up to see him. So this has been a close rivalry. They've battled and had pretty close games. So I could see the draw here, but as of now, nothing for me.
There you go. It wouldn't be a stream with Terry on it if you didn't disagree with Nick. Nick, what do you got for this one?
I just want to put this out there real quick before I do break down the game. Eichel is +200 to score a goal. With that being said, looking at this game, I can see this right now. Yes, Vegas is at home, and they're getting Jack Eichel back. And the Colorado Avalanche are on a second half of a back-to-back. They're traveling. I don't care. This Avs team should have smacked Dallas last night. I was super lucky to catch that 2.5. Actually, I think that was a higher scoring game in general. But Jake Ottinger equals good at hockey. 47 shots on goal, 46 saves, 1 goal allowed, 4.96 expected goals for Dallas for Colorado. That was basically what we saw with Thatcher Demko the other day against Toronto. And then we saw what Toronto did the next day against Seattle. Yes, I'm not saying that this Vegas team's Seattle, but looking at their expected goals against numbers. And it's going to be Laurent Brossoit in net most likely. Or it's going to be Thompson, who hasn't played a game all season. Vegas has given up at least 3 expected goals in 8 of their last 9 games. This is a team I'm looking to fade a little bit here. No Mark Stone. No Robin Lehner for a little bit. Has something wrong. I forgot what type of injury he has, but he's not going to be around for a little bit. He's on the long-term IR. And Vegas is probably going to be looking to get another goalie at the trade deadline. And don't be surprised if that goalie's name is Marc-Andre Fleury. Plain and simple. Don't be surprised if it is. I don't think he is going to go to Vegas, back to Vegas. I'm just saying if it happens, don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to Vegas. I'm saying don't be surprised if he does. But I like the Avs team total over. I like the full game over because I do think that Vegas can put a couple in the back of the net as well. Just because it's his first game, I'll probably have +200 for Jack Eichel to score a goal just because it's his first game. And we saw this with Kane. But I'm definitely going to have a few Avalanche players to score a goal. I just don't know who yet. So I love the Avs in this spot. And Terry, you can mark this down for later for the Getting Wild show. Colorado Avalanche team total over 3.5. That'll be my best bet today.
There you go.
Quickly, I wanted to kind of mention to what Nick said there. Vegas's GM responded last night and said that Fleury is not coming back to Vegas. He said that he's heard enough of those rumors and they've been getting loud and annoying. And he said to all Vegas fans, everyone in Vegas, Fleury is not coming back. And the reason why I think he wouldn't is because of how that ended. That was a really rocky. He got traded and didn't even get told. He found out on social media, on Twitter, that he got traded. So I don't think Fleury would want to.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so Fleury would not want to go back there. If anything, he's going to the stupid Colorado Avalanche, which makes my life hell. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, that should be fun then. Anyways, Avalanche team total over. Eichel couldn't even be a captain in Buffalo. Buffalo's a really good team. You don't discredit that.
Look into what Buffalo did to Eichel. Look into how that relationship.
They screwed him. Yeah, they wouldn't let him get the surgery he needed.
Yeah,
that's why he went to Vegas.
He was constantly
Vegas would actually let him get the surgery.
And they played that they wanted money and trades and before his health. So Buffalo, that's a shame. Shame on Buffalo, the entire organization and their fans.
That tank in 2015 meant nothing now.
Shame on all of their fans, especially that guy up there.
Even the bandwagon fans from this year.
Yeah.
Bandwagon. Buffalo bandwagon fans.
Bandwagon.
Just hearing that kind of is like, what? But yeah, okay.
Yeah. The only Buffalo bandwagon fans should be the Bills.
Well, it's the only professional teams because there's no basketball and there's no baseball. So.
Oh, before we go, I just read on Twitter, Deshaun Watson is looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, yeah, Deshaun Watson was looking at that because Tampa Bay was either going to try really, really hard to get Brady back or go after Deshaun Watson. So that was the report.
I mean, are we convinced Deshaun Watson's going to do anything now? Like
no. He doesn't want to stay in Houston.
Well, yeah, obviously,
I don't know if I want him on the Vikings, but because his issues, but
I don't know how much. I think those were all false allegations because it was funny how all those came out immediately after he said he wanted a trade.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak to it because I obviously don't know if
I don't know about it, but yeah, I just found it funny how he said I want to trade out of Houston, and all of a sudden all these allegations came out against him.
Anyways. That is everything for today. Thanks, Terry, for hopping on for the hockey games. We're going to go ahead and roll the new bumper before heading into some housekeeping, and then and we'll go from there. So play this so you guys know what's going on.
When you guys head over to the Earle Sportsbet site, make sure you use code BOWL, BOWL, for a full 20% off the entire site.
There you go. It's the current promo code for right now. But some housekeeping before we head on out. If you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Appreciate all the support. Check out all links in the description below. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Facebook, Picks and Parleys, Premium Plays, merch, TikTok, and the EarleSportsBets.com website, all linked down below. If you guys want to check out our premium college basketball plays, here's our current record this year. We got our best bet up, which we did hit our best bet yesterday. We have our 9-pack up, which we did cash our 9. We were profitable on that 9-pack yesterday. So on a little bit of a streak now. If you guys want to check that out, $25 for the best bet, $35 for the 9-pack. Go over to the EarleSportsBets.com website and check it out. Also linked in the description below is Terry's channel, and hopefully one of those comments was beautiful. That's Terry's channel. Go ahead and make sure you check him out. He'll be live today at 5 o'clock for his hockey show as per usual. Make sure you guys check him out. Get him to 250 subscribers by the end of this month. And then other people that you guys should be watching. Craig did his show earlier on the Picks and Parleys channel. Then you got Higgs. He'll be live around 12. Me and Nick are live now. Allie at 1:30. Game time at 6. And then shooting hoops with me and Lenny tonight at 9, talking some NBA action right before the All-Star break. And then that should be pretty much it, to my knowledge. Should work. All right. I'll go ahead and we'll do a little bit of a recap for the NBA today. I like the over in the Washington game, over in the Houston game, over in the Laker game. And I like 2 dogs in the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets tonight. Nick?
Yeah, get this, Terry. I bet my first NBA game in about a week. I'm on the Oklahoma City plus 7.5 and a half unit at plus 265 for them to win straight up against the Spurs today. And then in the NHL, I'm on the over 5.5. I don't mind the 6 though for Winnipeg and Minnesota. Team total over for the Carolina Hurricanes at 3.5 even money. Team total over 3.5 with the Avalanche at plus 105 at 3.5, and then over 6.5 full game for the Avs and the Knights.
Terry, quick card.
Right now, all I have bet is wild money line. Carolina money line, Carolina first period money line, and Flames in regulation.
There you go. Nick, wrap up the stream for today.
Yeah, that's going to just about wrap it up for this one. We want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we are live here at Earle Sports Bet, which is anywhere in between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Earle Sports Bet show. But that's going to just about do it for this one. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here with my brother Tim and Terry Edelman. This has been another edition of the Earle Sports Bet show. Thank you guys, and good luck.
See you guys.